Hello everyone, this is Erik, the Asian movie enthusiast, and this is another Blu-ray update video. Now today I got one Hong Kong movie, one Korean movie, and then a batch of Japanese comedies from Shinobu Yaguchi. And I did do a discussion on his entire filmography a little while back, maybe a year or two ago, so I'll include a link in the description box below for that discussion if you want to see. But let's get cracking here. So some big-time purchases here. Now, the first one may not seem to be the case given the title, but it is a big-time purchase, and that is The Magic Crystal. Yes, this is a Hong Kong flick. I think this came out in the late 80s. I'm pretty sure I did a separate review for this one at some point. This could be Cynthia Rothrock's most purely entertaining film. I may be in the minority with that opinion because it's so nutty and weird and kind of dumb, but it has some cool action in it. A lot of good fights, actually. And, we get the pairing of Cynthia and Richard Norton, who, starred in a bunch of American films with each other as well and collaborated in Hong Kong, like films like this. So this is the Vinegar Syndrome release of The Magic Crystal. So it's very nice to see Vinegar Syndrome release a movie like this. Some pretty cool artwork on the back there. This is a nice release. This is a Blu-ray, and this is Region A, I believe. It should be. Yes, it is. Now, The Magic Crystal, okay, the plot, you basically have this little kid finds, like, a magic rock, and you have government agencies trying to get the rock from the kid. And you'll have Cynthia Rothrock, who is just trying to help the kid, and Richard Norton, I think, is one of the bad guys, if I remember correctly. And it was directed by Hong-jin, who is hit or miss, in my opinion, but this is definitely one of his more entertaining flicks, starring Andy Lau as well. So, yeah, this movie is completely insane. You get, like, scenes with the little kid using the magic rock crystal thing to solve his everyday problems with other kids, and then you get the government agency stuff, which is where all the fighting comes in. And there's some crazy, like, scenes in this. I'll just leave it at that. And it has a delightful cheesiness to it, is I guess how I would describe it. Very fast-paced. If there's not a fight, there's comedy. And I very much enjoy this film. I do. So yes, if you haven't seen this, I would definitely check it out. But be prepared for some cheese. Now, this has the original Cantonese language soundtrack with subtitles. It also has an English language dub track. Brand new commentary by Frank Zhang and Rick Myers. There's a new interview with Cynthia Rothrock. A new interview with actor Wen Xiaoyu. 16-page booklet with an essay, trailers, and some other stuff here. So, sometimes the booklets will be kind of thick. Let's see here. Here's a little kid from the movie. And, some movies, the kids are annoying, but this kid was alright. He was alright. There's a poster here, too, it looks like. Magic Crystal poster. So this book is definitely light, pretty on the thin side. So this isn't like a 100-page book like I frequently show with some of these releases. But, and there's some influences from other films that you'll see in this. But yeah, this is about, I don't know, maybe 10 pages long, and there's some essays and stuff in there. Good stuff, folks. The Magic Crystal is just purely entertaining fluff. But the action is good, though. Yes, so that's the Hong Kong one. Now, we go to South Korea for the next one. And that is The Chaser. Definitely one of the more popular Korean films of the past 20 or so years. And rightfully so, because this is an awesome thriller. Pretty awesome thriller. You basically have a pimp who one of his girls disappears, and he investigates one of her last clients, who turns out to be a really bad dude. And it's basically the pimp trying to save this girl from this incredibly violent man. Now, this is the Umbrella Entertainment release. All right, so this is Umbrella Entertainment, and this is a thick box in there. Yeah, this movie it's definitely a must-watch if you're even remotely interested in Korean cinema. It does have some pretty nasty violence in it at times, but, you know, I'm pretty sure you can handle it if you're familiar with Korean films. So this is the case with the Blu-ray in it. And this is the original artwork of, like, the DVD inside of it. Our original poster and stuff like that. And this is just a Blu-ray release, no DVDs. But you get a new audio commentary with Pierce Conran and James Marsh. Audio commentary with director Na Hong-jin. And the actors Kim Yoon-suk and Jung-woo. So again, great cast, great director. I patiently await Na's next movie. He hasn't made one in like 8 years. Hopefully it's coming out soon. You get a third audio commentary with the director and other crew. So you get 3 audio commentaries in this. I have not listened to any of the commentaries in this yet. Pre-production featurette, production note video, scene story featurettes, lots of featurettes, deleted scenes with the commentary by the director. So there's a lot of special features. This is like commentary extravaganza. So that's good. Very solid special features. This looks like we got some pictures here, some art cards and stuff like that. Still got the strap on it. And then we get a thick book that I'm usually, this is what I usually get with some of these releases. And this is approximately, it's not showing me the page numbers here. There's no page numbers. But in any case, it's a pretty thick book, high quality paper. You get an interview with the director that's written here. A director interview. You get, they don't have a table of contents in this. But yeah, there's a lot of write-ups in this. Lots. And you get some pictures inside as well. And, yeah, this is a very, very solid release. The region code on this is B. It's a Region B Blu-ray. So, yeah, The Chaser, I mean, it's pretty thrilling film. I'm sure I must have done a separate review of this on my channel as well. But it's from start to finish. It's just riveting stuff. Get a few good chases in there. A nice slugfest to the death, you know. And there's some pretty harrowing moments in it, though. So, very high quality stuff. Great release. And, yes, by all means, check this out if you haven't already. It's essential viewing. Now, the last batch here is going to be comedies from one director. And that's Shinobu Yaguchi. Now, a few of these are DVDs, actually. So I'll go through the 2 DVDs first. I bought these a little while back. The first one, My Secret Cash. This is one I have to do a separate review of on my channel. But again, just if you want a discussion about almost all of these movies, just click the link I put in the description box to the discussion video. And go through his whole filmography, basically. This one, I mean, all of his comedies are, like, pretty laid back, but super charming. Definitely one of the most reliable directors to ever come out of Japan. And I don't say that lightly. Like, all of his movies are at least good. You know what I mean? So, this one, you basically have a hyperactive, materialistic woman finds a suitcase with a bunch of money. And she sets out on a manic quest to track down the actual case of money. So she kind of has it, and then she loses it, and then she tries to track it down again. Yeah, this is a pretty solid flick. And the lead actress, Naomi Nishida, I think I remember her becoming a fan of hers after watching the Takashi Miike film, Happiness of the Katakuris. I think she was in that film. And that's when I really became a fan of her. She was also in one or a few of the Gakkou no Kaiden horror films from the 90s, I think, if I remember correctly. So this is a late 90s flick, early in this director's career. This is a solid comedy. Special features, just a trailer. That's about it. This is the Genion Entertainment DVD, which is Region 1. So, you know, this is a solid film. Obviously, it's Yaguchi. Another one of his later films, this is another DVD I got on Yes Asia, Region 3, and all of these have subtitles. Robo-G. This is one of his films that doesn't get quite as much attention. Although in the West, this director doesn't get much attention because it's hard to find his films with subtitles. And almost all of his films are available on Yes Asia with English subtitles, which is kind of a rarity for Japanese Blu-ray and DVD releases. They usually don't have English subs. I think a lot of Kitano's films might have subtitles, and a lot of Yaguchi's have subtitles, so that's a bonus. Now, in this film, you have these guys who make a robot. It doesn't quite work out great, so they get this old dude to basically go inside of a fake robot suit and act like a robot. And it's pretty entertaining, man. Like, the ending of this movie, I'm not sure the morals that are portrayed at the end of the film were quite good or honorable, but who cares, you know? It's a comedy. And, the shenanigans that these guys get into with their fake robot and the lies that they have to go through to cover up their deception of the public. Yeah, this is a good flick. There's a trailer, and that's it. So it's a bare bones release. Region 3 DVD, as I said, English subtitles, and you could get this, I think, on Yes Asia. Good flick. Now the Blu-rays. Let's do one that's a little bit different. This one is a little bit more of a drama than it is a comedy, which was kind of surprising to me, because this was also rather later in his career, and that's Survival Family. And this one is basically about a family that, they're in Japan, and in the big cities, all the electronics just malfunction, so you have no access to, technology. Everything just kind of shuts down inexplicably. And everyone's just trying to survive, almost going back to, humanity's past and how to, get food, drinkable water, shelter, stuff like that. And the commentary on this film is pretty awesome because it basically shows how, if you're an urban person or suburban person in 2024, you're probably going to have problems dealing with this situation, even though people of the past, would typically find a way. So it has some humor in it, but this is mostly a drama. But this is a very good film from this director. A little bit of a change of pace compared to his straight-up comedies. Now, this is the Blu-ray, Region A Blu-ray, the Japanese release, with English subs. Not many special features, it looks like. Just a trailer and a photo gallery. And now we come to probably what many consider to be this director's top 3, or possibly top 3 films. They're up there. They're definitely up there. The first one, all right, is another one of his later films in the 2010s, and that is Wood Job. Now, I think they were making a play off of Good Job, maybe, but, it obviously deals with trees. The title of the film, though, comes off as, maybe a little dodgy. I'll just leave it at that. Kind of an odd name for a film, but this is great. This could be my favorite from it's tough. So it's basically about this guy who, he's kind of aimless, doesn't really know what he wants to do with his life, and he sees this ad with Masami Nagasawa, and she's like an ad girl for forestry. It's like a forestry job. So he's like, wow, she's pretty hot, so I'm going to go meet her at this forestry place, and that's the only reason why he kind of goes. And she is there, but, maybe more difficult to find than he had assumed. And he basically falls in love with forestry, like planting trees and managing the forest. Very unique premise for a movie. And the one great thing about Yaguchi's films is that a lot of times he'll pick a topic and then explore the topic through comedy. And you end up learning things. It becomes like an informational type film as well. So you learn about, the forestry business, how they plant the trees, how they cut them down, the cyclic nature of everything. This is a really good flick, and it's hilarious. There are some moments in this that are just outrageously funny. But yeah, this is the Region A release, English subs, trailer and photo gallery again. You can see a theme on the limited special features, but this is a must-watch comedy. And Japan has been able to kind of keep comedies alive, I feel like, over the past decade or so. Because in America, it's been pretty dry. All right, next one. This is one that has grown on me. We have 2 left. This one's grown on me. I remember liking it back in the day, but I rewatched it fairly recently, a few years ago, and I really enjoyed it. And that is Waterboys. Waterboys. Again, this is the Japanese DVD release. Very nice release. I like the color. This might be the nicest release of all the Yaguchi films that I got. It's all white. And then, yeah, this one is about, it's almost like Woodjob is about forestry. This one is about synchronized swimming. And you get this group of guys who kind of join the synchronized swimming class because, I think it was because the teacher was hot. You can see a common theme with the guys in these movies. But again, they end up learning about it, and they enjoy the hobby or the working to make it to be good at it. You know what I mean? So this is a lot of pool scenes. Got a lot of fun moments. Pretty hilarious. Satoshi Sumabuki's the lead actor, who I really like. Man, this has got to be the nicest release. I really like the color scheme on this with the white and the blue. And by the way, this film looks really good on Blu-ray. Really good. So, you get a little booklet in here too. This is a good flick. Definitely one that, like I said, is growing on me, and it's a must-watch. This could be a lot of people's favorite from the director. And then finally, we get what is probably my favorite. This and Woodjob might be is like the 2 fighting for the top spot. But this is Swing Girls. Schoolgirls learn jazz. They end up kind of being forced to join a jazz club, and then they end up falling in love with the music, and they're terrible, and they try to get better at it. Very similar to Waterboys. You know what I mean? Boys learn synchronized swimming, girls learn jazz. Is basically your premises. And this movie is just an absolute riot. It is a riot. There's a really good concert at the end as well. I've heard some of the actresses actually learn to play their instruments well enough to kind of play them, which is pretty good. They put some effort into this. And, yeah, I mean, this is just really, most of these movies are a must-watch, these Japanese comedies, and Yaguchi's films in general, just because, how often do you get a director who's that reliable at comedy nowadays? And then inside you get like a record themed Blu-ray disc. Record-themed Blu-ray disc. Yeah, must watch. This is one of my favorite comedies of all time. So yes, another Region A Japanese release with English subtitles, of course. So really nice to see Yaguchi's films get the Blu-ray treatment with subtitles. Some of these now are going to be a little pricey because they're Japanese, but if you have the means, definitely pick up like Swing Girls, Woodjob, and Waterboys would be the first 3, I would say, to pick up. Or pick up one of them and see if you like it. So yeah, that's the batch of films I wanted to cover in this. I figured the comedies would work nice with the holiday season, even though they're not really holiday films. But yes, more of these videos in the future, folks. And as always, I'll see you next time.